One AI exec was fired and rehired, but did you even hear about the AI executive who quit? Today we're going to talk about Ed Newton-Rex and why he walked away from his position as Vice President of Audio at Stability AI and what that means for the AI industry. What up, friends? I'm Phil Buck, your host of AI Roundup, a weekly digest of all things AI related. And for today's video, I wanted to highlight some news that I feel went under the radar with all the Sam Altman and OpenAI drama dominating the headlines the past week or so. Ed Newton-Rex was the Vice President of Audio at Stability AI until a couple of weeks ago when he resigned and put out this statement. I've resigned from my role leading the audio team at Stability AI because I don't agree with the company's opinion that training generative AI models on copyrighted works is fair use. I think it's really amazing to see someone at such a high level like Ed, who has been involved both in the creative industries and the tech industries, come out so strongly against the unethical training of AI models. His resignation wasn't a spur-of-the-moment action. It was the culmination of a fundamental disagreement with Stability AI's stance on the use of copyrighted material for training AI. As Newton-Rex points out, the broad interpretation of fair use by many AI companies, including Stability AI, is a controversial issue, especially when it involves scraping data from the internet without consent. What makes Ed's stance so significant is his background. He's not just a tech executive, he's a composer and a Cambridge alum, someone deeply rooted in the creative process. His perspective bridges the gap between technology and creativity, and it highlights a growing concern in the AI industry. How do we balance technological advancements with ethical considerations? At Stability AI, Ed led the development of Stable Audio, a generative AI tool for music creation. And this is where it gets interesting. Stable Audio was trained on licensed music, a dataset of over 800,000 files from Audio Sparks, that's with an X, ensuring that the training was ethical and legal. And while it's worth noting that Stable Audio was nominated by Time Magazine as one of the best inventions of the year for 2023, I tried it out, and while the ethical training is commendable, the outputs do leave a little something to be desired. Okay, so I tried this out with a few just of my own, desired results. First, relaxing jazz music, upbeat guitar, piano, 808, not a traditional drum set, and a saxophone. And let's take a listen. So yeah, not exactly amazing. I mean, it got the vibe, but it's not something I would want to listen to. Let's try out another one. This is a kind of music that I would try to make on my own. Lo-fi hip hop beat, chill hop. I did use the prompt library to get some of that in there. Wobbly keys, detuned synth, and a vibraphone. Let's check that out. So that one didn't work at all. In my opinion, that is terrible. And then just looking at the Time Magazine nomination about Stable Audio, they gave an example: ambient techno, drum machine, peaceful instrumental. I think they said they could hear this, at least with their version of it playing in a cafe. I was hoping this would be, something usable, but let's hear it. I guess I'll say I don't mean to squash the accomplishment. That to me, this is a very successful proof of concept, but I don't see the practical applications, and maybe I'm missing something, but I don't see where you use this music. I wouldn't even use any of that as the background music on the show. So this raises a critical point to me in the AI debate. Can we create high quality AI models without relying on mass data scraping, often including copyrighted works? I think that's actually pretty critical to the equation. So Ed's resignation is a wake-up call and a challenge to the industry. It's a demonstration that quality and ethics need not be mutually exclusive in AI development. His works as Stable Audio, though not perfect, prove that there is a path to creating AI models that respect creators' rights. And in speaking to the BBC, Ed stated that, "I wouldn't think, yes, I'll definitely give my compositions to a system like this. I don't think I'd consent," he said. which I think it highlights a great point here where AI models really need to be licensing the rights to the data sets that they are training on. This is a great opportunity to compensate creators for the value that they bring to a model, if they so choose. Another story that is a huge step in this direction is the partnership that was just announced by Runway ML and Getty Images to develop an enterprise-level video generating model that are trained on Getty's massive stockpile of stock photography and images. I really wanted to cover that story for today's AI Roundup, but honestly, I don't think there's enough information out about that partnership yet to make a full video about it. But it is exciting to hear some news about AI and Getty that isn't a lawsuit. And to be fair, there are some questions about this model that they're making. Is it going to be trained solely on Getty's images, or if it also uses or will be built on top of a model that used copyright material without consent? So that's a huge question mark right there. All right, so looking ahead, Ed Newton-Rex is not stepping back from the AI world, but is instead moving toward projects that align more closely with his ethical stance. He's advocating for a model of AI development that collaborates with creators and respects intellectual property, a sentiment that echoes the mission of this show, AI Roundup. We champion innovations, but not at the cost of ethical boundaries and creators' rights. That's why I really wanted to cover this story and talk about Ed. I think one of my favorite and most important quotes from Ed in the articles that I read was, "Many people will say, oh, Pandora's box has been opened and there's no going back." And then he offers, "There's no reason we can't reframe how we train these models. I don't think it's too late. I do think that we need to have a rapid and society-wide conversation about the contract between creators and these companies." And that, to me, that is 100% it. All right, that's it for today's AI Roundup. What are your thoughts on Ed Newton-Rex's stance and the future of ethical AI development? Drop your comments below or sound off in the MMN Discord. If you enjoy what we're doing, please make sure to like this video and sub to our channel. Also, be sure to follow us on social media at MSP Media TV. You can also email us. The address is news@mspmedia.tv, or if you'd like to, call and leave us a voicemail at 833-MSP-NETWORK. All right, y'all, I'm Phil Buck, and this has been your December 6th episode of AI Roundup, and I'll see you next time.
This has been a broadcast of the MSP Media Network.